Let's address what the vice president has said about you. Of course, the history here for people who might not know it. You two worked together side by side, toured factories together when he was governor of Indiana. Here's what he told our Dana Bash on Friday about this issue. Here it is.
You know, I've known Mayor Pete for many years. We worked very closely together when I was governor, and I considered him a friend. He knows I don't have a problem with him. I don't believe in discrimination against anybody. I treat everybody the way that I want to be treated. I think Pete's quarrels with the First Amendment.
How so?
All of us in this country have the right to our religious beliefs.
Is your quarrel with the First Amendment, Mr. Mayor?
The vice president is entitled to his religious beliefs. My problem is when those religious beliefs are used as an excuse to harm other people. That was a huge issue for us in Indiana when he advanced a discriminatory bill in 2015 under the guise of religious freedom that said it was lawful to discriminate provided you invoked religion as your excuse. And I just believe that's wrong. This isn't about him as a human being. This is about policies that hurt people, policies that hurt children. And to this day, if you listen closely to what he said, you'll notice that to this day, he has not brought himself to say that it shouldn't be legal to discriminate against people in this country because they're LGBT. In most parts of this country, you can still be fired, denied housing, denied services because of who you are. He seems to be okay with that. I would love to see him evolve on that issue.
This is 2020 presidential candidate Pete Buttigieg, the first openly gay candidate to run, as he calls out Mike Pence for using his religious beliefs as justification to do harm to others. And while most Democrats haven't been willing to wade into religion because of how it conflicts with liberal positions, Buttigieg has been. And as a baptized Catholic for whom scripture informs his positions, he's been effective in calling out the glaring hypocrisy that's been left unchecked for so long. As an elected official in Indiana, Buttigieg has firsthand knowledge of the Religious Freedom Restoration Act, signed into law by Pence in 2015, which basically made it okay to discriminate to protect religious liberty. And in case there was any doubt as to the true intent of this law, when Pence appeared in an interview with ABC's George Stephanopoulos after the bill's passage, he refused 6 different times to answer whether the bill would allow a business to discriminate against gay couples.
So this is a yes or no question. Is Advance America right when they say a florist in Indiana can now refuse to serve a gay couple without fear of punishment?
Well, let me explain to you. The purpose of this bill is very simply to empower individuals when they believe that actions of government impinge on their constitutional First Amendment freedom of religion.
Yes or no? If a florist in Indiana refuses to serve a gay couple at their wedding, is that legal now in Indiana?
George, this is where this debate has gone with misinformation and frankly,
it's just a question, sir. Yes or no?
Well, there's been shameless rhetoric about my state and about this law and about its intention all over the internet. People are trying to make it about one particular issue, and now you're doing that as well.
Is that true or not?
George, look, the issue here is, is tolerance a two-way street or not?
When you say tolerance is a two-way street, does that mean that Christians who want to refuse service, or people of any other faith who want to refuse service to gays and lesbians, that it's now legal in the state of Indiana? That's a simple yes or no question.
George, the question here is if there is a government action or a law that an individual believes impinges on their religious liberty, they have the opportunity to go to court.
Final yes or no question, Governor. Do you think it should be legal in the state of Indiana to discriminate against gays or lesbians?
George,
it's a yes or no question.
Come on.
So while Pence might claim to treat everybody the way he wants to be treated,
I treat everybody the way that I want to be treated.
I'm assuming that doesn't include wanting to be turned away at a business for having married the person he wanted to marry. And that's where the problem lies with this whole perversion of the word freedom. The difference between religious freedom and granting full civil liberties to LGBT people are that one restricts the rights of one group of people while the other grants them freedoms. Let me be clear, demanding religious freedom is just another way of dressing up discrimination. And it's sad that people are willing to exploit religion, to exploit something they claim to care about, to exploit something so sacred to so many people. But exploitation is exactly what it is. Treating people equally is not an affront to your religious beliefs. If your religion is so fragile that serving a gay couple a cake is enough to hobble it, then maybe the foundations of your religion aren't very strong. But in America, if you want to open a cake shop or any other business, you need to be able to operate under the confines of the law in this country. under our equal protections clauses in our Constitution that affords all Americans the right to equal treatment. If you aren't able to do that, if you are so blinded by your bigotry, then maybe operating a business in America isn't for you. But to think that you opening a business means that the whole world has to operate under your narrow-minded parameters is not your right. It's a false sense of entitlement. And that's what Mike Pence represents, a perverted worldview that if you're religious, it's not enough to enjoy that freedom to practice that religion, to be exactly who you are, but somehow it's also licensed to limit the freedom of others, to tell them that they can't be who they are. Because while people like Pence pervert Christianity to be an exclusionary cult intent on harming the most vulnerable and disregarding the poor and sick and turning a blind eye to strangers, something tells me that's not exactly what Jesus would have wanted.